This is where it all started for me. Join me in the New South Wales Snowy Mountains as I return for the first time in years to the magnificent Thredbo River. It's October, only a few short weeks after the opening of the new season, and the river is running cold and clear. I've come in at one of the National Park's campgrounds along the Thredbo. These spots can receive a fair bit of angling pressure at times, but today I'm the only one fishing it. Access along the Thredbo is a bit easier now than it used to be, as there's now a bike track that runs along much of the length of the river. However, the thick bankside vegetation is still much the same as I remember it. Thick, spiky, and impenetrable. Parts of the river are also too deep to wade, so getting into position to fish the water that you want to is not always easy. I haven't seen any fish yet, so I'm trying to work methodically through some different water types to identify where the fish might be. Because the water's pretty cold, I'm not really expecting to find them up in the faster riffles or runs, but I'm going to try searching everywhere until I can piece together a little bit of a pattern. Yeah, there's a fish. Oh, thought there'd be one there. This little rainbow. Look at it. Yeah, lovely. There he is, guys. A beautiful little rainbow. Oh, off he goes. So he was sitting about where I was expecting he would be. There's a sort of slow, deep pool running through here. It's still early season at the moment and the water is freezing. I've had a bit of snow only in the last few days, and there's a bit of snow melt coming down the river, so it's really cold. So I'm sort of expecting the fish are going to be sitting in that slower, easy water. Their metabolism will be slow. I don't think they'll be up in the fast stuff too much today. I'm expecting I'll find them down at the back end or in the bottom of some of these deeper, slower pools. So I'm going to have another go here. I think it's such a good piece of water and it's a pretty big pool. There's probably going to be more fish in here. The difficult bit is just getting close enough to get a cast in to actually reach them. But let's see what we can do. And the other difficult bit is that I've got a strong headwind coming down the river, so I don't really fancy casting into that right this second. I'm going to wait until it eases off. I can just leave my line and nymph suspended in the water there until the wind drops for a second. Gee, that water is icy. Okay, that's about as much as I can cover from here. So I might see if I can creep up along that edge a little bit and then wade out a little bit and get a cast into the deeper stuff from up there. Well, it's a bit deep trying to get up this edge, but I've got to a little bit here where it looks like I can access some of this deeper water. Yeah, there's a fish. This feels like a better one. It's got a bit of weight to it. He was just down around those rocks there, down deep. Oh, he's not that big. He's probably a similar sort of size. I think this might be a brown. Oh, I just dropped my camera in the water. Ah, my tripod just broke. My camera fell in the water. It's all happening. Oh, I'll just have to pop that down for a minute. Come back for that. Gee, he's going hard, this fish. I don't give up, that's for sure. Oh yeah, it's a nice brownie. There he is. What a beautiful fish. What a lovely fish. You can see the little pink bead just in his top jaw there. There. That bead's just come out. There he is. What a beautiful brownie. Gorgeous brown trout. Off he goes. Well, in the midst of battling that trout, my little mini tripod here fell apart and my other camera fell in the water. It was a bit of a debacle. So anyway, we might be down to one camera now, guys. I'll see if I can do some other handheld shots with the camera, but yeah, my tripod is now a monopod. Anyway, I don't think it's quite as useful, but we'll see. Alright, let's wade out again, see if we can find another fish. There's a little sort of rock shelf here that I can stand on top of. Give me a little bit of reach out into the current there. There's only so far I can go because of the back cast room with all the bushes behind me. But if I just carefully hang my fly behind me then, and then lob it over the top, I can get a reasonable way out. Both of those fish so far have eaten the fly very slowly. They're obviously very lethargic because of the cold water. So they're probably not going to move very far for a fly. Oh, there's a fish. Yep. nice. It's another brown, I think. Yep. Yep, another little brownie. Beautiful. There we go, guys. Another beautiful little brown. Off he goes. Okay. Well, I seem to be in the brown trout part of the pool at the moment. Perhaps we'll find some rainbows a little bit further up if I can get access to that water. We'll see. That wind is starting to pick up now. It's making it a little bit more difficult to get a good drift and get good indication. But it sort of comes up in gusts and then it drops, so just got to try to make the most of the calm sections. Yeah, there's a fish. I got him by just reaching right across and just doing the best I could to get the least sideways drag over on that far side. This is a rainbow this time. He was more in the current over there, as you would expect. Lovely. Beautiful fish. There we go. Gorgeous rainbow. So they definitely favour slightly different water, the browns and the rainbows. Browns tend to like slightly slower water than the rainbows. The rainbows like to be out in the current a little bit more. The browns tend to like the slower water, and they also tend to be a bit more oriented around structure. So the browns that I got here came out of these rocks. I don't know if you guys can see those underwater, but there's a bunch of boulders down there that the browns were sitting around. And look, rainbows will definitely sit around that kind of stuff as well because they give a good current break. But the rainbows will usually be in slightly more moving water than the browns. Yeah, there's a fish. A brownie again. It's sitting down there in that slower stuff, right down on the bottom. This is slightly better fish, I think. Yeah. Nice brown. Well, not ready yet. He's sort of woken up now. Yeah, gee, they're fighting hard, these browns. Oh, he might be wrapped. I think he's wrapped in the leader, that's why. Oh, he's a good fish though. Yeah, he's lovely. He's got the nymph just in the corner of his top of his jaw there. He's a beautiful fish. Yeah, he's a lovely fish, look at that. Pinned in the top of the jaw again. There we go. Lovely. So I've just been standing in this one spot because there's one little rock platform amidst the deep water that I can get out on that'll allow me to reach over to the other side. Normally I'd be moving my feet a bit more than this, but this is the kind of spot that just gives me the best opportunity to get a cast into this water. So I'll see if I can pull one more from here perhaps. Might be pushing my luck. All right, get my line all the way out down there and see if I can do a flick cast upstream and get the longest drift that I can. Just wait for that wind to go. Oh, that's good. It's going to get me a good long drift. Oh, that wind making it a bit hard. Oh, picked up a little one up high in the column there. Little brownie. There we go. I might try see if I can get a couple of drifts further back in the pool back there. I don't know how easy it's going to be to cast to. It's just sort of swinging across now and there. I don't know how effective swinging is going to be in these water temperatures. It usually works better in warmer water when you've got hatches and so on. But I can only physically reach so much water from here, so I'm just trying to maximise it as much as possible, even though it might not necessarily be the optimal technique. Well, I don't know, we may have exhausted our possibilities here. Try one more drift. Oh, that wind. Righto, let's move up, see if we can get some access further up this bank. I don't know how much further I can get actually, but I'll do my best. Wow, there's some deep water down here. Another little rock shelf that I've got up to. Haven't got much room to cast, but there's some real deep water here. And unfortunately, in coming here, I've sent a plume of sand and dirt and stuff out into the eddy here, which is probably going to alert fish to my presence. But I'll do what I can to reach out into the main current over there, or the edge of the main current anyway. See if they can still pick something up. Pretty deep here. Just gotta be really careful not to fall in here. Do not want to fall into that deep stuff with waders on. Jeez, it's hard to cast here. I've just got no back cast room. So I'm having to do a sort of a steeple cast with a Euro rig, which is a bit interesting. I might see if I can do a long bow and arrow or something. Get my other foot forward. Carefully. This is one of the situations where having a really long Euro rod helps. This is a 10-foot 9 3-weight that I'm fishing with today. And that extra little bit of length definitely helps in some situations. Yeah, that's over there. That's kind of over there. Whoa! Duck just hit my cider. Alright. Might move up a little bit. I just don't seem to be able to access the water that I need to from here. I managed to get up to the sort of head section of this pool here. Let's see if there's going to be any fish here. It may be too much moving water for them at this time of year. With this icy cold water, they may not want to be up in this stuff, but we'll see. There might be some little pockets in there that a fish can sit in. There's a big boulder down there and some sort of slower water in the middle there. I'll just step down here a little bit and just try to fish a couple downstream into this nice deep stuff down here. This is the top end of the big eddy kind of deep section that I was fishing before. So I can't really drift it conventionally from here, but I can just sort of let it sink down and do a little nymphing retrieve. Let's see if something hits it. Actually, there's a nice deep pocket down here between these two boulders. There's a big boulder there, and there's another big one back there. And there's a deep pocket in between them. Let's sink one down into there and see if there's something sitting in between those. It's a little bit swirly. No, I think we need to move up. Just disturbed a snake. It was in here. He's crawled into there and disappeared. A lot of snakes on this river. Definitely wearing gaiters with my waders. So I've just come up above that pool. This is the next little bit. Not really as much depth. There is a nice sort of slow bit of water with some depth in the middle of the pool there. Yeah, straight away. There's a nice rainbow. That was the first cast in this pool. And he was just sort of sitting in that spot where you would expect him to be. Just that slower, nice, easy water with depth towards the back of the pool. Beautiful. There he is, guys. I think he's got rid of the fly. Off he goes. Okay, let's try again. Try this little side pocket here. Just cross a little bit more. Oh, I might have missed one then. unless it's just getting sucked down. That was definitely the prime spot that that first fish came out of. Let's see if there's any others. Yeah, there's one. He's in that pocket. Over there. Ooh, running all over the pool, this guy. Another rainbow. Yeah, beautiful. Lovely fish. There we go. What a beautiful little rainbow. Try up in the slightly higher part of this run now. There's a little sort of pocket up in the top there. Okay, I think we'll move up. There's a bit of depth in here. It is going quite fast, and it's quite swirly, but there is some deep pockets and some big boulders in there, so I'll just give it a couple. You never know. There's a nice pool just up ahead. I think this is probably just too hard work for them. They don't need to be struggling in this kind of stuff when they can be up in the pool there in the easy water. So I can see there's some real nice deep stuff up in there. I'm sure that's going to hold fish. And I'm just going to try this little section back here first with some boulders and so on. Nice slow paced water. This could hold fish. Go up and hit the main part of the pool. This looks pretty good. I might just change up a bead size here. Go a little bit heavier. Alright, I've gone up to a larger bead size. There it is. Let's see if that gets us down a little bit more. It'll also maybe give us a little bit more casting distance to get further up and across that pool. Maybe the fish are just a little bit further up in this run. Yeah, there's a fish. There was a rainbow. There had to be one in here somewhere. Beautiful. Lovely. What a gorgeous rainbow that is. Well, what a magnificent place, hey? The Snowy Mountains is just incredible. And there's a reason this is one of Australia's most iconic trout rivers. So, I just wanted to show you guys today fishing straight out of one of the campgrounds at this great river, and there are definitely fish available to be caught if you know where to look. They're not evenly spread out all through the river, they just tend to be grouped up in little pockets of the right kind of water, and it's not always going to be the same water. It's depending on what time of year you're here, what the water temperature is doing and so on. And today, with that icy cold snow melt coming off the mountain, they were just in the nice, soft, easy water towards the back of the pools. And it was a wonderful day's fishing. Hope you enjoyed that, guys. If you did, give us a like, leave a comment. Don't forget to subscribe, and we'll see you next time. Cheers.